Well, hey there. Welcome back to Satisfactory for Dummies. I'm Joe Mama. I am your head dummy in charge for this endeavor. And right now we are smashing out some copper ore into copper ingots. All right, that takes care of the copper ore. Let's see if we can go ahead and hammer out. If you take a look to the upper right, you can see our current milestone is logistics. That's where we left off. Let's see if we can hammer those requirements out as soon as possible. So let's go ahead, take some of this, and let's see if we can select wire and knock out these requirements as quick as we can. Lot to try to cover today, and I want to see if we can open these milestones up as quick as we can so I can show you those things. I'd also like to see if we could find the way to make the chainsaw. I'd like to get that going as soon as we can, so we not only can we turn leaves into biomass, but then we can turn wood into biomass as well. Actually, we can turn wood into biomass, but we need to be able to collect wood more effectively than we are now, and we can do that with a chainsaw. It also looks like we're going to need to make some screws and some more iron rods. We don't have nearly enough iron rods. All right, that takes care of the wire. Okay, let's see what we can deposit right now. We can deposit a whole bunch of iron plates. We can deposit a whole bunch of wire. Let's go ahead and sort those out, consolidate them. So all we need is the rods. Let's actually go up here. Oh, okay. Let's do something right now. Just temporarily, let's go ahead and put a ramp right here so we can walk up and down so we don't have to constantly jump. We're going to talk about foundations and ramps and stuff as well. But that's later. I'll go ahead and grab some of these ingots and let's check the biomass, because again, like I said last time, right now until we change the kind of generators we're using, we are slave to our power system here, because it's not automated. It's not auto feeding in any way, shape, or form. Okay, we got some biomass there. Okay, now I can split the stack. All right. All right, let's feed those. Let's go ahead and see if we can make some iron rods. We'll go ahead and knock that out. Clearly we're going to need more. Looks like we have about 100 and the ability to make about 100 and oh, it's gonna be close. It'll be close. We might be able to have enough. We might have enough. No, I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to be short. We're going to be a little bit short. Crap. Okay. Let's go get some more. Dump them. Oh, you know what we have not done? We haven't created the MAM yet. We're going to do that as well. All right, let's see if we can pick up as much materials as possible. Iron plates. Okay, we just need 2 more rods. So can I get 2 more iron ingots, perhaps? No. Yes. All right. That ought to do it. Boom. Okay, so
Milestone
4
reached.
minutes for that.
Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
Yes.
The
Okay.
productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Okay, as you can see here, now we've got not just conveyor belts, but we've got vertical conveyor belts as well. And we've also got the ability to split and merge conveyor belts. We can, split one belt into 3 or merge up to 3 belts into 1. Okay, I pulled everything out of the storage crate because I'm very close to wanting to... Oh, right, we can grab some of that as well. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull that. Go ahead, grab all. I always forget this grab all button. It's very tempting to just go ahead, shift click this whole stack into our inventory, but you could just hit the grab all button. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to turn some of our iron ore into ingots. Let's go ahead and do that right now. I want to take some of this, some of these iron ingots that we're about to make and turn them into iron rods. Yes, we could set up another constructor, but I don't want to add any more to the base just yet because I actually want to redo the foundation. Our base, basically what we've done is we've taken miners that are pulling limestone and turning it into concrete, and taking iron ore and turning it into iron plates, which basically are the materials we need. We basically just created a bootstrap base for making foundation materials. So now that we've got that, it'll automatically make foundation materials for us. We can start to actually build a real base, with the start of a real base, and that's what I'd like to do. But we need to do a few more things. I'd like to get a few more materials on hand, and we need some iron rods to make screws to make reinforced iron plates. So really, the name of this game is automation. Automate as much as you can. Oh, sounds like our freighter is inbound. Okay, so also I got a message. I got a comment on the last video about sending multiple packages. I have to read it a little more closely. So I'm sorry if I don't get to that comment now. I need to read it and comprehend it a little bit to make sure I understand what you're saying. Obstacle clearing. Let's do that. Part assembly. We don't need that one. But obstacle clearing, yes, let's do that. Let's do this one. We're going to select this. That's going to give us the chainsaw. So we'll get to that. But it won't be in this episode, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and dump some of our concrete. We don't have enough screws. So we're going to have to take a whole bunch of iron rods. Okay, one iron rod turns into 4 screws. So if I want to make 500 screws, I need 125 iron rods. So we'll go ahead and do that. Actually won't take very long. I mean, truth be told, we might as well just make a whole crap ton of iron rods, because we're going to need them not just for filling the freighter, but we're just going to need a bunch of iron rods to make a bunch of screws, utility poles, the works. All right, let's go ahead, make a whole bunch of screws. Again, looking for 500. Ah, right, and cable. We're going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of cable. We can do everything here in one session on this bench right now. So let's go ahead and do it. Finish these screws, and then we'll take care of the cable. And then we'll build ourselves a chainsaw and the solid biofuel. We're going to work on that. We're going to make a system that will make solid biofuel automatically. Okay, that leaves us 88 screws for other things we're going to use. The 500 is reserved for the milestone achievement. And then, so let's go ahead. Nope. Let's actually select cable, and let's go make some cable. 100 rolls of cable. Or, okay, 100 units of cable. Okay, let's do that. Now, I think we have everything we need. So, boom, boom. There's the button. Obstacle clearing.
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners.
Yes.
To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally,
Excellent.
R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
Oh, yes. So we've got more inventory space. Beautiful. All right, so in order to make the chainsaw, we need some reinforced iron plates, iron rods, and more screws, of course. Do I have any iron ingots on me? Yes, I do. All right, so looking at that, let's go ahead and make a whole bunch more iron rods. Let's see how many iron plates I can make. I can make 7 reinforced iron plates. I only need 3 additional. Okay, so that takes care of the 5 iron plates. What else was it? Screws? More screws? Yeah, a whole bunch more screws. Okay, otherwise I've got everything, but I need 160 screws. Alright, how many screws can I make? Oh, more than enough. Yes, 160, that's our aim. And we're also going to make some biomass, if we can. Okay, that ought to give us that. Chainsaw, what do we... Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me right now. Oh, man, we needed some of the iron rods that I used. Crap on a crutch. Okay, let's check the... Well, I'm not checking it now. No, not that. Grabbing that. Okay, grabbing that. And grabbing that. Okay, excellent. Okay, that gives me enough. And let's build one chainsaw. Okay. And do I have the ability to make biofuel? I don't. Oh, but I can make, biomass out of wood. Now we gotta make some solid biofuel. This is the chainsaw will actually run on this. And then what we're gonna do after that is we're going to totally rebuild our base. Okay, we won't turn all of it into biofuel. However, let's see. And we've built the chainsaw. Let's go ahead and put one in our hand. There we go. Now we can walk up to any of these trees. Boom. Beautiful. So we're going to be able to collect a whole crap ton of wood biomass, okay? But we also still are slave to our power system here. And as you can see, we burned through a whole bunch of that biomass. Let's go ahead. We'll split one stack of biomass and we'll go ahead and deposit half a stack in each machine. Now what's our current power draw? Let's actually use the pole right here. 26. So a 30 megawatt biomass. I want to show you something, because here's another option. We have a biomass burner. It's a separate burner. It's bigger than the ones on our hub, but you can see that it is a 30 megawatt power plant. If you look to the lower right, it's a 30 megawatt power plant as opposed to these 220s. So what we should do, honestly, is not depend so much on these two, but make a consolidated power plant. That's what we're going to do. And I mean, quite frankly, that's where my professional background lies, so I'm more than excited to do that. All right, let's take a look at something. I want to see how many foundations we can make. Okay, we've got 300 concrete. Okay, 300 concrete, but it takes 5 per foundation, so that means we can make a total of 60. And then, so that's our limiting factor. If you look down below, or look, we also have 473 iron plates. It only takes 2 to make a foundation, which is about 235 foundation segments. So concrete is our limiting factor right now. Still, okay, so we're gonna up that number. How much concrete do we have? 345. All right. So let's go ahead and start doing it. We need a nice kind of wide open place to start building something that's not going to cover. I think this is actually a really good spot. So let's build a ramp. Okay, I want to say something about ramps. All right. Ramps are great. And it's tempting to use them. All right. Oh, almost forgot the thing. Okay, there we go. If you want, okay, you can use your mouse wheel to rotate them, but it's going to, by default, pick an edge that it can build against. So you got to rotate if you want it to go up instead of, you know, up to a ridge like this and then down. You're just going to rotate it, okay? So it matches that edge up. So you can go up like that. Okay, ramps. This is a 4-meter high ramp, which, I mean, I'm sorry. This does, from here to the base, or from here to the base, is supposed to be 4 meters, which is 12 feet almost, 13 feet-ish. That doesn't look it, does it? I mean, that doesn't look like 13 feet. But, hey, you know, it's a video game. We're good with that. Just something I noticed, being an engineer by trade. All right, but what I was going to say about ramps is, you see the slope on this? Anybody want to do the trig for me? It's each of these squares is 8 meters by 8 meters. Okay, each horizontally, it's 8 meters by 8 meters. Like if I do this right here, take 4, number 4. Okay, right there. Okay, 8 meters by 8 meters. And that's the run. The rise is 4 meters. So I'm not sure what angle this is. I want to say it's 20 something degrees. I can't remember the trig off the top of my head, but I know how to do it. I just can't remember the number. If if the rise over run is 1/2, because that's what that is. A rise over run of 1/2, I think, equals about 20 something, 23, 24 degrees. Anywho, you're gonna find when you start building monorails, which is a ways down the road from where we're at, but it's one thing you should be aiming for, is to get monorails up and running. You're going to find that this slope right here, while it's good for vehicles like trucks and explorers and other things, it is not good for trains. Tracks can't be built on a slope that steep. So what you can do is you can go with the 2-meter high ramp, okay, which is this right there. That is about the maximum slope that a train, putting train tracks or a monorail track will allow. So just something to be aware of when you're thinking way in the future. If you want to do that, remember that this is the ramp you want to use if you're even considering putting a monorail track on it. But let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start laying out our larger base here, and we're going to operate from this platform like this right here. It's great, and we'll leave it in place for now, but we're going to move the we're going to move the hub, and we're probably going to move the biomass maker, because we're going to totally redesign it, and I'll show you what I'm thinking of for that. Okay, so let's go ahead, hit 4, so we start laying these foundations out. Remember what I said about building mode? Right now it says build mode default. Hit R, and then you get this thing right here: default, zoop, and vertical. Let's go to zoop. All right, so what we've got, let's see, 330 by 5. 330 by 5, I think, is that 65? Maybe? I think it's, we can make a total of 65 squares, given the concrete that we have. So 65 is like 13 by 5, or right around 10 by 6, 11 by 6, I think. So let's 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 4. And let's go out 6 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, come on. 5. All right, so that's 6 that way. And now I can just, oop, right to the edge, right there. Okay, so now if we got 6, we can basically go about 11 in any direction. Okay, with the materials we have. So that is 1, 2, 3. So let's go 8 more in this direction. And you can see, it's hard to see where it says currently building right there in the middle. There's an orange number right next to foundation 2 meters. It says times 5. We're gonna go 6, 7, 8. Okay, boom. So that should be 11. You can do a max of 10 at a time with the zoop build mode. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a platform that is roughly 11 by 6, and we're going to be short one. We're going to be a little bit short, but we can go and get the concrete we need to finish it up. Okay. You can see how so much quicker to build this way. But, okay, foundations also. You're going to find, if you look around, you see these pillars, you see these seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Don't forget, you can build foundations. You can, if we want, we can ramp all the way up to any of those, okay? We have the ability to do that. So never forget that when you're like, oh man, sure wish I could get up there, get a good view. Remember, anytime you want to get, just use the foundations. It's an option that's easy to forget. That's your ticket to get to those places, and sometimes you can find some goodies up there. Not always, but many times you can, and some rare, I say rare minerals, but some ore sites can be found up there. Okay, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I do it? I think we must be close to. I've got room. I've got concrete for one more, but we won't worry about that just yet. All right, let's go ahead and build our biomass burner. Let's take this sucker down right here. No, you know what we're gonna do? We're actually gonna build another power plant. No, we need more. We need more iron. Okay. Grab all. Grab all. Yes, we could put a mining machine there. We will, but right now this doing it by hand and picking it out of those machines is actually quicker at the moment. All right. Let's check our power. Ah, we're good. We're okay for now. All right, iron ingots. Oops, nope, nope. Okay, there we go. We're actually making more biomaterials. All right, now let's make a bunch of iron rods. And from there we can make a bunch of screws. And we can start to recreate the base. Okay, that should be enough. And the biomass burner, do we have enough to make it? Yes, we actually do. There is one thing though. We need copper, but we can go ahead and build the burner. So something I learned this week, which is probably very important, is power management. In another game save that I have, I'm much farther along. Okay, let's see. Probably we'll put this thing right about there. All right. Oh, you know what? Do I have the ability to make more? No, I don't. I get more concrete because I want to build right to the pavement, or to the surface there. If I extend the floor a little bit, I think I can build to the over to that slope, which is fine. But I need more concrete. Power management. So the base that I'm working on my other save, I'm much farther along in the game. I'm really haven't quite completed all the requirements, but I'm very, very late game. I have the ability to make nuclear power, but I haven't done it yet. Nuclear power is a thing in this game. Okay, can we extend? I want to go right to the ground if I can over there. Yeah, okay. That allows us to come up over here, grab the copper, grab all. And I mean, I have power plants all over the place, so they're scattered. The power plants are scattered. The loads are scattered, of course, because there's miners everywhere. There's little miniature factories here and there doing their various things. They're outposts that are setting up oil and aluminum and other things. Again, stuff we'll cover much later. Okay, copper. We're gonna go make some wire, and we're gonna go make some ingots, and then we're gonna make some wire. Anyway, so power plants and stuff are scattered all over the place. The power grid is an absolute unorganized mess. It works, sort of, but it's an unorganized mess. Let's go ahead and do that. And I mean, by that I say, you know, everything has power, but power plants are plugged into the same grid as the loads, which, yeah, that's how power grids work. But then at some point I actually overloaded the grid and it popped off. And so now, currently, I'm in the process of unscrewing that mess. So I'm starting to think that what I need to do is actually take all the power plants, wire them together wherever they are in the map, wire them together sort of on their own grid, and then at a very specific point attach all the loads to the grid. It means running a whole another set of power lines just for the power plants, and then at one specific point attach it to another power grid that all it holds are the loads. Like, except that the power plants, there are some power plants that you build that require things like water pumps pumping water into it, or they require refineries turning oil into fuel that fuels the power plants. So what I'm trying to do is turn any loads like that, any loads that are required for producing power, for example, refineries producing fuel, they're permanently attached to the power plant side of the grid. Water pumps that feed the coal plants, which we'll cover later. Coal plants require water. So those water pumps are part of the power plant side of the power grid. So that way I don't have to worry about separating them. And if you pop the power grid, what you end up having to do is separate the load from the power plants. And that allows the power plants to come back online and then slowly add the load back onto the grid and then increase the power production as needed. So I'm thinking what I should think about early on is making sure the power plants are wired together, and then the loads are handled in a very organized way. Like, think about your breaker panel, your circuit breaker panel in your house. If you look at it, I don't know what the age group is of people I'm talking to, but you know, for those of you who are old enough to understand the danger of opening up that panel, you know, talk to your mom and dad. But okay, what did I do? I just need to make a bunch of wire. That's right. If you have that level of responsibility and where you live, take a look inside your power panel, and you can see the load, all the power to your house comes into that one spot, and then at that one spot it's distributed to all the other places in your house, like here's the bedroom outlets, or the washer dryer, or the water heater, the stove, all comes into that spot, and you can take them offline one by one. I'm thinking I need to do something like that early on, just in case something like this happens again, because as you can see, you know, the size of the things that you're powering increase, the power demand increases with time. Well, how do I put this? As you progress in the game, you get access to better and better and more advanced machinery, and each of those bits of machinery takes greater and greater amounts of power to run. So you need to think about that as you design your power plant. And I wasn't thinking, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have these, you know, 50 assemblers work on nothing but screws. And as I, you know, dropped those things online, the power plant, it ended up overloading it, you know, different things that I was making. And anyway, if I had been more organized and paid closer attention, I think I could have avoided the problem altogether. And certainly the problem becomes extremely difficult, as I'm finding it's taken me a couple days to go around my entire factory all over the map and take loads offline and bring power back up, and then slowly put the loads back online so I can get everything running again. It is a royal pain in the butt. So, power. Think about it. Anyway, more on that as we go. All right, let's check where we're at. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right. So the first thing, let's talk about the biomass. You know what? Let's move the hub. First thing, move the hub. So we have it. We're gonna, oh, the equipment. We're gonna take this down. Okay. And now the hub. Let's take that down. Oh, and there goes the power. Well, that's okay, actually, because... yeah, I forgot. You take the hub, you take the power plant with it. So here's what we do. Where's the power pole? Put a power pole right there. Run wire to there. And run that to... maybe... let's pick a good one. Let's pick a nice central spot. But no, I think we'll just run it right there. Nope, can't run it there because it's full. No, right there. It's just gonna go right there. And this is why we build the ramp, so we can climb up and down this thing all the time. Frankly, I like the idea of everything being in one power plant anyway. There we go. Let's get everything back up and running. Okay. So, actually, this is probably a decent place to, let's extend this a little bit. And we'll actually put the biomass production here. Okay, so what do we need? We need a couple of containers. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull... let's disassemble all this down here. We'll disassemble the constructor. Okay. Are we taking everything? Okay, we'll disassemble the belts. Disassemble the containers. By the way, these foundations, as you can see, you know, I pulled one container right out from under another. You can do that with these foundations. You don't need to get too wrapped around the axle about gravity. Or think of Minecraft and helper blocks and things like that. You remember in Minecraft, you can pretty much place a block in midair as long as you have a helper block or whatever to initially get it set up. For example, I'll show you. Just imagine this is Minecraft and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You build blocks outward and then you take a block away and that thing will just hang there. Okay. And if you want to build something on there, for example, build a utility pole and then take away the foundation and then that thing just hangs in the air. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's an option that's available to you. If you're not too picky about, you know, having things hang in the air, you can do that. Just something to be aware of. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our container. Organization, storage container. All right, this is, oh, no. Oh, that's gonna annoy the heck out of me. Let's take this tree down. Okay. In fact, let's go ahead and grab all this stuff. In fact, I know it's taken us forever to get to the point that I was trying to get from the very beginning. Reorganizing this base. Our budding base here. Okay, see that tree was actually hanging up the container. Okay, so this is going to be where we put the leaves. This is going to be where we put the wood. So we're going to have two constructors. All right, go into production, constructor. Oh, we need to make some reinforced iron plates. Okay. Let's see, right there's the, you can see the green line there. Our doors are lined up. Ports. Okay, so this one is going to turn leaves into biomass. Okay. And we'll build another constructor. Oh, and I've got an idea. I just want to show you this. This is going to look kind of goofy, but we're gonna do it anyway. This is a thing you can do. Don't forget to think vertically. So let's go to foundations, and we've got a 4-meter high foundation we can use to help us out. Okay, let's go back to the default building mode. So, because if you do Zoop, it looks like it only lets you build 2 or more, and we only want to build 1. Okay, so I'm actually going to put, this is going to sound goofy, but we're going to put another constructor right here. But I can't make it because I need to build an iron plate, or I need to build reinforced iron plate. So this this belt that comes out of here can go over to here without restriction. In other words, if I try to build a belt that goes from the top there next to that constructor, if I put another constructor next to it, I don't think it's gonna allow me to build the belt that steep. But we need to make some reinforced iron plate. Ow, but the poo. Right. Okay. The hub. Let's get the hub going. And the hub, let's go ahead and put right here. It's under special. The hub. All right. Let's construct the equipment workshop. Can I do that? Yes, I can. And how about the MAM? Can I construct the MAM, which we have not done yet? No, I can't, because I need reinforced iron plates. Okay, so let's make some reinforced iron plates. Yeah. What's my restriction on iron plates? I need screws. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of screws. Alright, reinforced iron plates. Let's make a bunch of them. And then maybe finally we can get some automatic copper mining and smelting being done. That would be good. I don't want to have that big blocky thing here, so here's something. Now we can go ahead and do this. We can put a 2-meter block on top of it. Oh, are you kidding? We're out of concrete? Good lord. Alright, let's grab more concrete. So, I don't want this big block to be right there. It looks ugly. So remember the thing I was telling you about before about creating helper blocks? So from on top of that, let's make a 2-meter block. Fell off. All right. And we will do this. And then we'll remove this. Okay. And I guess we could even move that. I know that looks funky. We can make it look pretty later by adding some pillars or whatnot. But for now, we'll leave it just like that. And I'm going to put a constructor on it. Constructor. Do that. And then... Okay, there we go. Oops, and we got that thing left behind. Okay. Alright, so we got one for wood, and this one for leaves. Set this one up for wood. Making biomass. Now... So now both are going to create biomass. So what we can then do is we can go to logistics, and then we can build one of our convoy why do I keep saying convoy? Conveyor mergers. Okay, so we have 3 inputs and 1 output. Right about there. There. Remove that. Remove that. And bring that to there. Bring this to there. So this is going to consolidate the biomass that's created. And if we can build another constructor, possibly right there. That is too steep, is it not? It's probably going to tell us it's too steep. No, perfect. Okay. And this is going to turn biomass into solid biofuel. And that is going to be, that for the time being, is what powers our plant. But unfortunately, we still have to hand feed it. But it's more efficient fuel, so we'll have to add less of it. All right, so right to there. To there. Okay, so now let's set up some poles to power everything. right. There. To there. To there. There. So that's one load. Okay, first of all, let's check out the load right now. Let's see where we're at. We are at 22 max consumption. And that's a load of 8 megawatts. Ooh, we're going to be maxed out. All right. Now, true to my statement earlier, I want to actually bring the loads. I don't want to attach it right to the power plant. Instead, I want to bring it down to here. All you need to do is take this, probably put a pole right there, and then just attach it to that. That's all you really need to do. Now watch, this thing is going to be maxed out, isn't it? Oh, 34. That's going to pop it. Why is it more? I did the math, right? Okay. What the hell? Not quite sure. Oh, but it's, okay. It's just not using it all yet. Okay. So here's what we do. I could add more fuel to that and attach it, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another biomass burner. You know, I'm starting to stay organized here. Think organization. Put that right there. That's probably going to be right that pole, right? Yeah. All right, let's attach that to there. And let's throw some biomass into here. Okay, so taking a look at the pole, we have a capacity of 60 megawatts. We're consuming right around 20-ish megawatts. That's because we haven't fired up these machines over to our right, but we have a max consumption if every machine is running 34 megawatts, and each of these is 30, so that's why we got to, you know, make sure we're above that. All right, that's why we have to double up. All right, so top one is for wood, so we're gonna go ahead, dump a bunch of wood into there. We're gonna dump a bunch of leaves into there, and if you look, you can see the wood's going to do its thing, and we should see both machines going to work. Yep, and they are, and we should see biomass coming out of both of them. Yes, and then this will turn that into biofuel. All right, and now those machines are working. All right, excellent. And there's our biofuel right there. Very cool. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and see if we can set up a little bit of a factory here. So first thing I want to do, though, is I want to get a smelter set up for copper. And we have the ability to do that. Okay, make sure our ports are going the right way. Okay, can we actually put a miner right here? Yes, we can. Where's the discharge? That way? I think we'll leave the portable miners in place. Okay, so what is this? Is this a normal? So taking a look at this, you can see that a Mark 1 miner can pull 60 ore a minute from a, quote, normal purity vein. So that's something to keep in mind. And a smelter, let's see if we, can I build a smelter here? I just want to take a look at it real quick. And if we do copper ingots, it can process 30 per minute. Now it takes 30 copper ore to make 30 copper ore per minute to make 30 ingots per minute. 1 ore, 1 ingot. So what that tells me is if we want, we could increase our output. Look, we're going to set this up for copper, and it uses 4 megawatts. All right, but we're going to do this right from the beginning. We're going to try to match up our ratio here. Okay, so 2 of these, each of these can do 30 per minute. That should keep up with that mining machine. All right, now the only thing is, we do need to split the belt, of course. Okay, let's go ahead, our zoop. We have enough to do this. Okay, so this is where we use a splitter. Go to logistics, splitter, 1 input, 3 outputs. Okay, let's actually... I think there's a ladder on top of these smelters. Yes. Okay. If the input probably come from this way. Okay, you rotate it with your mouse button, or your middle mouse button. And then, all right, run our conveyor there. What is that about? Okay, run that to there. And then we can take our machine here. I'm actually going to go under this bridge so it's not in our way. Just because. Okay, you rotate it with the mouse button. And then up to... Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. So let's keep cognizant of our total power consumption here. The mining machine, what do we say, consumes 5 megawatts. Each of these smelters takes 4 megawatts, so 5, 4, and 4 is 13. Oh, do I have enough wire already? Oh, excellent. Okay. So let's do this. The equipment workshop, and then the MAM. All right. Oh man, I'm gonna go down a rabbit trail right here. Okay, there's all kinds of things we can look at here, but we're gonna get there. We'll get there after we get this done. Yeah, before this episode ends, we'll talk about that. Okay, so are both of these set up for copper ingots? Okay. That's done. Okay, set this up good. Now that we've got this done. Alright, put it right there. And then attach these. Alright. So if we look at the pole, we can see we're up to 13 megawatts total load. We're not attached to anything yet. But let's run this pole in a sort of organized way. Right to here. Disconnect that, and disconnect this. Okay. And I'm actually going to do this. I know this looks silly. Put this to there. Put this to here. And this to here. I'm just showing you what I kind of had to do on my other save. So those are all the loads. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a common bus here. I know, this seems silly, but I'm showing you what I was doing. Alright, we're linking these all together. You don't need to do this. You really don't. I'm just kind of doing this as sort of a demonstration of what I had to do on my other save to keep things sort of organized. So now I'm going to attach this power to this spot right here. Okay, so if I look here, I can see that I have the capacity of 60 megawatts, but I'm not actually producing anything because there's no load. And now if I take these 3 loads here, 13, 12, and 22. So what's that? 25 and 22, 47. So then I can take these, and one by one, I can attach them, okay, together. And then now I can look and see I should have 47. Yeah. So, but for such a small kind of power grid, you don't need to do that. I just did it just because I'm an electrician, and it's, you know, if any time anything were to pop, if these things were to pop off because they were overloaded, I could then remove each of these jumpers and slowly add the load in an organized way back onto the grid. So that's all that's for. So anyway, yeah, look silly, make fun of it, that's fine, totally get it. I just it's just a thing that I have to do. All right, So we're going to build a container. And I'm going to put it, let's see, right here. Yeah, we'll put it right here. Is this going to line up? Can I make these line up? Yep, just like that. Okay. Conveyor merger. Put the green output toward my container. And then I'll take these smelters and bring their copper ingots, copper ingots into here. Everything will go into that container. It'll be collecting as I work on other things. Now for this, I'm actually going to leave that where it's at. I'm going to let that smelter do its thing and make those iron plates, but we're going to use this other we're going to use this other vein right here, which is impure, unfortunately. Let's take this. We're just going to go ahead and pick up the miner. Actually, you know what? Let me leave one. I'll leave one miner in place. Just because reasons. Oh, by the way, you have a light. By hitting B, you have a light. Don't forget that. I forget that all the time. Alright, let's see. Put this like that. And we'll go ahead. We'll attach it. This is an impure vein right here. So I think this is only going to produce... Oh, did it not work? Okay, come on now. Okay, there we go. So I think it's only going to produce 30 per minute, am I right? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's only going to produce 30 per minute, so one smelter will be sufficient. Okay, so you can stand on the edges of these belts, by the way, without moving. Just like... I got it. Come on. Okay, so you can, see, if you stand on the belt, you will move. Okay, but if you stand off to the side, you won't. Because you'll actually be standing on the edge. Okay, so I guess that's not going to line itself up with the... I don't get the green line with the belt. Okay. Whatever, that's fine. So let's set it up to make iron ingots. Storage container. So it puts the ingots in a container for us. Okay, let me check something. Because that might not even be necessary to put it into a container. The constructor... if I were to put it right here, can it keep up? If I make iron rods... Okay. Yeah, that should keep up, honestly. In fact, what if I turned it... Okay, it makes 15 per minute. So I can actually set up 2 constructors, couldn't I? Yeah. Okay. So, heck with the container. Let's do this. Let's build 2 constructors. Alright, one there. One there. Splitter? No. Yeah, splitter. Okay, yep. That goes there. This goes there. This goes there. And this will go. Each of these things will make iron rods, and this should keep up. The only problem here is that we're actually running into blocking off. Oh, so you know what? Screw it. We'll just add a little more to the foundation. How hard is that? Storage container. Okay, and line that up. 4 megawatts, and each of these uses 4. So 12. All right, excellent. All right, put that there. Boom. 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 And that's set up for iron rods. That's set up for iron rods. And let's extend this power line to here. And one there. Okay. And again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it as sort of a demonstration. You know? And now we should be sitting at 59. If I'm not mistaken. No, 64. 60. Oh! How did that happen? How did that happen? Yep, it popped it. How did that happen? 64. I miscalculated something somewhere. Was it 49 before? Oh, you know what? Maybe this thing was... Oh, because we added that. We added that thing, which is 5 megawatts. I totally forgot. Okay. All right. So here's what you do. First of all, let's remove this. Okay. Now, we can't pop that one yet because that's going to be a slightly different grid. We can take this, pop that. No? Are we not fully disconnected yet? How the heck are we not disconnected? Okay. So let's, first of all, you know what? Let's make sure these things are fully loaded with biomass. So they both can operate. Oh, no fuel. Well, that'll do it. So we got solid biofuel. Let's go ahead and add it to both. Well, that'll do it. Okay, solid biofuel. And now let's try it. Okay. Max consumption's 52. Okay, so we're about to dump 12 onto it. Is that right? Can that be right? Oh, okay. Yes, because these 3 are on their own, but this one is attached to that grid. Okay, got it. That's why that happened. So what we're going to need to do is actually add a 3rd power plant. Or what we could do is we could add one of those, but I want to keep our power plants together. So let's add a 3rd. We're definitely going to use it. Okay, and then we'll attach that to there. And now let's see where we're at as far as biofuel goes. Oh yeah, we got lots of biofuel. Okay, a 1. And let's add that to that. And let's split that. Add 1 there. We'll add 1 there. Okay, so we got biofuel. And now... set that jumper. Okay, and that brings us to 64. Oh, you know what? Dang. Duh. Mistake. I made a mistake. I omitted something, and it should be obvious to everybody right away. Both of these machines need to be need to be filling the container. So, storage container. Now let's get to a conveyor splitter. There, I said it this time. Or no, a conveyor merger. Green toward the container. There we go. And now it should be sending all these iron rods into the container. All right. So we've got copper being worked on. I guess I could start it to work on wire, but we'll work on that later. You know, next time. But when we come back for episode 3, we'll have that done. But let's talk about the MAM. Since I told you we'd cover this, let's cover it. So we've got a whole list of things that we can research. And one of those things is alien organisms. Now here's a bunch of alien organisms that exist. Let's start with the one that we found, which is this hog research. we need some hog remains, and as it happens, I've got some on me. So let's click on that, and since it's already in our inventory, it says we have 2, we need 1, we can go ahead and start the research. Okay, I was going to say something. The analysis of this is complete. Please choose a new node. An alien DNA capsule. So what we could do, it's telling us that we can get biomass basically from the alien stuff that we find, if we want to do that. But you know what? We'll leave that alone. Let's go for nutrients. Okay, let's go ahead and research the nut. The barrel nut. Okay, it completed that. And now it tells us we can get what's called the nutritional processor. We just have to supply those materials right there, which involves steel, and those, we don't have that quite yet. You know what? Let's go ahead and research this. We've already found one of those. Okay. So there we go. Using the MAM, we can open up new options for us, things that we can build, and it'll get the purpose of the MAM will become more and more clear as we go through some of these other things right here, like this hard drive, which is we don't have a hard drive yet. There are things that we can find out on the map, and there's some other things right here that we can research, but they're grayed out because we haven't discovered the materials that we need to do the research yet. We don't know what we don't know, if that makes sense. So anyway, those will start to light up as we discover new branches. But anyway, that's another thing to be mindful of as we go through the game. The MAM, always check in, see if there's something new you can research. Let's check out. Have we picked a new? We haven't. Okay, part assembly. Let's go ahead. Well, before we quit, we're going to go ahead and pick the next step. Logistics Mark II. Okay. Stackable conveyor poles, that's important. A faster conveyor belt, also important. But also this awesome sink is a very cool thing right here. The research sync bonus program, what that allows us to do is take extra stuff that we create, because you're going to find that sometimes you're going to be creating things, building things, and you realize, oh man, I need to get rid of some of this. You can actually get, I call it store credit. You can actually get stuff from your waste, from your cast off, and you will have waste in this game. So that's a very cool thing. Now an assembler right here, this allows us to produce items automatically that have a recipe of 2 or more items. For example, the reinforced iron plates that require screws and plates. So this can help us make those automatically. So there's lots of options available to us, and we still have to make the space elevator. Maybe next time we'll do that. But anyway, I think that gets us on the road to mid-game stuff. I think we're in a really good place. We'll do some exploring next time, I think. And in the meantime, between now and then, I'm actually going to hunt down more biomass, and I'll set up an assembler to build copper wire and just tidy up things a little bit, maybe make things a little neater. But boy, that looks funky right there. But yay, it's an option that's available. Let things float in midair. All right. But anyway, we'll hope you guys learned something, and feel free to put stuff in the comments and tell me where I'm screwing up. I'm okay with that. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.